to the Chelsea Harbour Hotel. Very posh, isn't it? We're very posh. Last time I had a meeting with Dillian, I was racing over to Brixton to meet him in a pub to try and get a fight time. And as you know, we're here for not only the press conference between George Groves and Martin Murray today, official eliminator for the WBA World Super Middleweight title, but I thought we'd bring our latest signing, Dillian Whyte, along so he could meet the media, have a brief chat. I'm really excited. I think Dillian Whyte has established himself as one of the top heavyweights in the world. We had an interesting time during the bout with Anthony Joshua. It was fun dealing with him and his team, but we all did great business together. We had a great fight. We gave the paying public great value for money on December the 12th, and I wanted him to be part of the team moving forward. He will return, if you like, on June the 25th at the O2 in his first fight back, and then shortly after that will be challenging for the British heavyweight title. So great times, and I think in terms of profile, he's right up there right now with the top heavyweights in world boxing, and of course the long-term goal is to return and have a shot at the world heavyweight title. I've seen a few people tweet me saying, well, that's the Anthony Joshua rematch out of the question then, and I didn't really understand that. I think there's more chance now of it being made than ever before, and it's a fight that Dillian and Anthony definitely want, and I think 2017 is very likely that can happen. We all know that Dillian was working with, at the Klitschko camp for the last fight with Jonathan Banks, a new training team now of Mark TIBBS and Jimmy TIBBS. It's a great link up. I think it's the first fighter that we've worked with together, which I'm very excited about as well. And I think it's a great opportunity for both guys in that relationship. Dillian, of course, but also for Mark TIBBS and Jimmy TIBBS to work with a real world-class heavyweight, which is always exciting, particularly in the landscape. And before I hear from those guys, I know that Adam Smith wanted Dillian in the studio for a great heavyweight fight between Parker and Takam at the weekend. And Adam, another great addition to Matchroom and Sky and to the 25th card at the O2.
Absolutely. I've always liked Dillian Whyte. I think he's a terrific fighter. I think what he gave us was a phenomenal build-up, a terrific fight against Anthony Joshua, and obviously a fight he believes in the future can come again and he can win it. I remember saying to Eddie at the time, you know, that was a domestic level fight, a grudge match at domestic level, but you know, those guys were very, very close to world title shots, and I think Anthony proved it against Charles Martin, and I have no doubt that if Dillian Whyte shared a ring with Charles Martin, we know what would happen. He's right there, he's right in the mix. As Eddie said, he was part of our studio team on Saturday for the Joseph Parker-Carlos Takam fight, which was 12 rounds of really good action, and Parker obviously inches closer to a shot at Anthony Joshua or whoever holds the IBF title by the end of the year. Dillian's in the mix. There's so many good fights out there for him. Obviously, we saw David Haye on his second comeback on Saturday night. You've got Derek Chisora, of course, who recently lost to Pulev. David Price back on the Goodison Park bill on Sunday. So the heavyweight scene is absolutely thriving. It's a pleasure. It's great seeing Mark. I've been a long admirer of Jimmy TIBBS, as he knows, and great seeing that team behind Dillian Whyte. And I think it's a really exciting signing for Eddie. So yeah. Very pleased he's on the bill on June the 25th, some night at the O2 it's going to be.
Thanks, Adam. And Mark, obviously, Dillian makes some very intelligent decisions, two of them here recently that he's made. But on a serious note, I know that he's been looking around, looking for the right training team, something he takes very seriously, and obviously great with the link up with yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm very flattered, to tell the truth, so with your kind words. Dillian himself is I don't know if you can tell with this, he's a natural box fighter, and he reads a fight well, and I think he'd be a great addition to our young team so far. But I think he's, like you just said, he's going to be a danger in the heavyweight scene.
How does
how can I say it now? His qualities, he can read a fight. There's a couple of adjustments we've got to do right now, but it's nothing, there's no big issues. And I'm really happy with what I've done with Dillian Whyte so far.
Obviously not many top class heavyweights in Britain, more now than ever.
Yeah.
But how does it change for a trainer? You know, I was talking to Dave Caldwell yesterday about training David Price. Obviously, completely different setup. and obviously interesting challenge for yourself as probably the first heavyweight, I don't know, but certainly the first world-class heavyweight I think that you guys have worked with, or certainly yourself.
Certainly myself. Listen, physicality is physicality, and you know, he's mental. He's got a great mental side to Dillian. The street nature of him. I'm really excited with that, and he's a quality fighter.
Dillian, welcome. Very excited. I like you because you can fight, and all the things that Mark said, I can completely understand spending time with you. My bum has only just recovered from December the 12th. So it's nice to have you on our side, but in all seriousness, that was some night. I know that it didn't quite go the way for you, but I think you feel as well that was a huge launch pad for your career, and now we move forward together.
Yeah, it was a huge night. Like I said, as you know as well as most people did, I had a massive shoulder problem, and the week of the fight, I had a simple choice to make. Get some injections in my shoulder, show up on fight, I let hundreds of thousands of people down, and that's not in my nature, you know what I mean, to let the fans down, you know what I mean. So I had cortisone injections in my shoulder the fight week, and I showed up on the fight, did the best I could, but apart from my shoulder, my condition wasn't the greatest, you know what I mean, but I still showed up and I still fight, stick to every word I said that I would do, and I done everything I said I would do apart from win, but you know, certain small things let me down, and I'm not working and adjusting them.
Obviously, an unbelievable time for British heavyweight boxing. The short-term aim for us is to, of course, pick up that British title.
Yeah, definitely.
But so many big fights out there for you. Of course, AJ Hay is a great fight for you as well. We're talking about Price, Chisora. You're ready for all these guys?
Yeah, like both you and Mark said, I'm there, I'm right there. Just a few little things that I need to adjust and to sort out, and I'm working them now. I believe that I'm world class, and I believe I'll still be world champion. Only thing that's changed is my mindset, and just to be less of a caveman and to adapt more scientific stuff, and to train properly and not just try and do it my way, you know what I mean? And that's why I made the decision I made with the Jonathan Banks situation, because Jonathan's a good trainer, but I couldn't be in Vladimir's shadow anymore. I figured that was part of my downfall in last fight, following Vladimir to Austria, following him around to Düsseldorf, and following him around and beating the second, you know what I mean? And as Mark says to me, this is a Dillian Whyte business. It's about Dillian Whyte, it's about nobody else. So that's one of the main reasons why I decided to train with Mark, because he's passionate about working with me, and you know, I believe him and his dad and the team around can help me and finish the little final touches that I need.
Where do you believe you sit right now in that domestic scene? Obviously, we saw David Hay win on Saturday night. David Price is boxing this Saturday night. You know, people, the younger guns, even calling you out now, the likes of Dave Allen and those guys. Chisora.
Dave who?
Chisora coming off. Where do you think you sit? You might be fine. He's got the British belt.
We'll see. What was I going to say? I believe I'm up there with the guys. I mean, those guys are a little bit more experienced than me. I mean, I never had a long amateur career. You know what I mean? But I'm here to fight. I think 2 warm-up fights back, I'll be ready for any one of those guys. You know what I mean? You know, I don't. Like I said, I always said, I don't want to waste my time fighting nobodies. You know what I mean? I want to get in there, have some good fights, give the fans nights that they're going to remember. You know what I mean? The fans have always been good to me, and always supported me through the ups and downs of my career. So I want to get in the ring, have big nights, and give the fans back what they give to me. I mean, nights that they're going to remember 50, 60 years from now. You know, when it is, Dillian Whyte was a brave man. He showed up, he fought, he gave us action-packed night that they would tell their kids about and tell their grandkids about. And that's my aim in British boxing.
Well, you've already done one of those, and I'm sure there's many more to come. Thank you, everybody. We're going to have some photos, I think, with Dillian over there. He's available, of course, for one-on-ones, as is Mark, and we'll start the Groves Murray press conference in about 15 minutes. Thank you.